and you are welcome. Thanks for staying with us. Yes, with me on the couch right now is Iwalola Akin Jimoh. She's a nutritionist and public health specialist. And last week, she talked about adolescent nutrition. And today, we'll be continuing that conversation where she goes, highlighting also on the micronutrients, deficiencies, causes, symptoms, consequences, and solutions. You are welcome to the show. Thanks for being here. You wanted to quickly wrap up on adolescent nutrition, which you talked about last week. So let's quickly do that.
Okay, so the last time we talked about adolescent nutrition, I tried to highlight the fact that adolescents have special needs in terms of the type of diet they're supposed to take, because they're growing and they're going through a period of growth and physiological changes. And so they need a lot of protein to meet up the growth. And also the fact that they also need a lot of micronutrients. Micronutrients are called micronutrients because you need them in small quantities. We call them small but mighty because they're not proteins, carbohydrates. And so when you talk about micronutrients, they're mainly vitamins and minerals, which you need for body functions. And so a young person, particularly adolescent, needs a lot of iron, a lot of calcium, and several other vitamins A, B, and C, so that they can grow properly and also meet their physical needs and physiological needs.
Okay. Now that you've mentioned some of this, what these micronutrients are, and how to identify them, how do you know that your body is lacking in micronutrients?
Oh, okay. So I think one of the first things you need to, understand is that vitamins and minerals can be gotten from vegetables and fruits, and also a lot of foods that we eat. Now, if you're somebody that is feeling when you're supposed to climb stairs, you're feeling tired, you're out of breath, you might be lacking some micronutrients in your body. Then at the same time, sometimes if your digestion is not proper, it's not going on very well, you might be lacking some micronutrients. And also, if the growth of a child is not, you're meeting the protein needs, and then the growth is not at the level at which the child is supposed to be growing, there might be So there are several micronutrient deficiencies. For example, as women, who are menstruating, more than 50% of Nigerian women lack iron. Iron is just one of the vitamins, and have anemia. And also the fact that sometimes when you look at young people in general, when you look at the growth of young people, there are a lot of young children that are malnourished. It might be as a result of macronutrient deficiencies, which is carbohydrates, protein. It might also be as a result of micronutrient deficiencies. But one of the key things people need to understand is that the more diversified the food you eat, the higher the chances that you are likely to be meeting your micronutrient needs.
When you say diversified, that seems like a very, very difficult task for a lot of people, because our go-to meals are rice, beans. Even our rice is expensive. Beans is very expensive, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And okay, so apart from the vegetables, right, the ugu, water leaf, even right now is very scarce because we're in dry season, right? So can you help us, expatiate more on this diversification of like how else can we find, these micronutrients in some of those foods that are not so easily accessible?
Okay. Now, when I mean diversified, I'm saying something, you're not eating rice every day. You're not eating plantain every day. So, for example, let's just take an example of a day you want to eat. In the morning, you get up and you want to take your breakfast. You can have a bit of vegetables, a bit of cabbage, a bit of carrots, and then you can also have, your cereal, which may be cornflakes, which may be pap, and then you also have your bean meal. It could be moi moi, it could be boiled beans, it could even be yam and an egg. You know that you have almost about 5 different things at that particular meal. You have your cabbage, you have your carrots, you have your yam, you have your egg, and you might also have, a cup of milk. That is a diversified meal. Now, in the afternoon, you're supposed to eat maybe around 2 or 3, but because you are taking that first meal around 7 or 8, you should have something in between. So it could be an orange, it could be an apple, it could even be carrots too, and it could be roasted plantain. And then in the afternoon, recall that probably you took yam and egg in the morning, then in the afternoon you can have your rice and beans and have a protein, and also have a side dish of vegetable, which could be your spinach, steamed spinach. It could be ugu, steamed ugu with some pepper and some fish. And then in the evening, recall you've had your yam, you've had your rice, and then you had orange or apple. You can have something like peanuts, groundnuts, you can have cashew nuts, you can have coconut quartz, you know, for the snack in the evening. Then at night, you can now have a small bowl of vegetable and, you know, agidi, or you can have another carbohydrate. It could be a very small swallow, which is like plantain flour, or very small, you know, yam flour. Or you can even have a very small bean meal, or you could even have like a pepper soup with a lot of vegetables in it and stuff. So you will see that you've not really taken anything twice. So that's what. So you just need to make that conscious effort to ensure that your meal has different things, and you always have your vegetable and you always have your fruits.
So you talked about your nighttime meal, and there's usually been that debate of what time to eat. What's the exact time to have your dinner?
Yes.
So what would
now,
you...
for dinner, your dinner, it depends on your age and what you have to do. Because some people will sleep at 12 midnight, some will sleep at 10. So the key thing is have your last meal at least 4 hours before you go to bed.
At least 4 hours.
So that the food will digest. Yes.
Okay.
So
Thank you so much. This has been quite insightful. Micronutrient deficiency. To be honest, I didn't. Those are things that we do not even look out for, but you have helped us to point them out, and you know, I'm grateful. Thank you so much. I'm sure that a lot of people also watching has also learned from this conversation today. So we'll continue the conversation on, you know, nutrition next week, of course, right?
Thank you.
Okay, yes, so still on nutrition, let's find out what's happening in the kitchen. Hopefully we'll have some micronutrients.